Hola, hola. Hello, my people. So, before we get settled in for this next episode, let's take a quick moment, gather ourselves, right? Let's simultaneously take a breath, interlace those fingers, inhale up, and then exhale it down. Now, we're going to do some side stretches. Inhale, and then exhale, lower the arms to the right, get a little twist there, and then inhale up, and then let's exhale to the right, to the left, rather. And let's get some shoulder rolls, maybe some neck rolls. And let's get settled in. And if you're in a seated chair, stay there. If you want to jump on the floor to get a little comfortable. But I do want to ask yourself as you get settled in, like, how are you doing today? And I really mean that. Like, I'm asking you, but also ask yourself, like, okay, how am I doing today? Where are my emotions? Where's my mind? Is it jumping everywhere? What am I feeling? What am I sensing? And try to practice non-attachment. Just like notice and let go and move it on, right? So if you're new to the podcast, welcome to the Nueva ALMA Podcast. I am EricaGarciaYogaVida, and I'm really thrilled to have you here today because it's really good to just get an understanding of who I am and what we're going to be presenting. So I really suggest, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel because it's definitely going to be one that you're going to keep coming to often. And eventually I'll start re-recording these in Spanish. So it'll be really good. So today we're going to be exploring the differences between mindfulness and meditation, because lately the words have been being used very interchangeably, but they're really not the same. So I'm going to be sharing with you my interpretations of the differences and the nuances between them. Feel free to pull out a pen and paper and your journals, because my podcast, at the end of them, where there's always going to be call to action stuff so that you can work on. And there'll always be like things that I'm going to say that you're going to want to definitely come to and like kind of save. So you want to make some mindful notes. And I encourage you also to like reach out if you have some thoughts on today's discussion, if you want to discuss anything, comment, whatever. So let's get started, because this episode is going to be packed with a lot of information, fun facts, practical tips, and a lot more. So before we begin, I figured let me just take a moment to dial it back and give you an introduction on me, because a lot of people don't know me. You may have just stumbled on this from like a search, right? So I'm EricaGarciaYogaVida, and my personal journey has been shaped by my own childhood, growing up, my own traumas, coming from New York, single parent household. I'm 53, latchkey kid, the whole shebang, right? But basically, it's life. And all of us are driven to find different healing paths throughout whatever we're going through. So as a Latina, as a Puerto Rican, as New Yorican, what have you, we recently moved to the island, and it's been really wonderful to just like really embrace getting deeper into knowing my ancestral lineage, and how it really associates with like these ancient Vedic principles and Ayurveda, and how I can now even more so incorporate it to be a healthy Latina, showing those kind of things, right? And in work, I used to work in finance, and I worked in finance since I was 19 years old. I also ran a yoga studio. And then during the pandemic, I was tapped into to actually give a lot of mindfulness and wellness practices to a lot of Fortune 500 companies. And I was very honored to be one of the faces, really, spearheading a lot of these initiatives during that time. But who are you? Like, who's my listener? It's you. You found me. It's you, my sister friend, same one on the same journey. Mom, sister, daughter, friend, all with the same struggles, right? So in this podcast, the overview really is that I really just want to give you some practical meditation and mindfulness tips, how it can be used as a practice, how can it be used and accessible to everyone. And, take what resonates and throw the rest to the side. But you're going to learn this because, there's a lot going on in our minds, and how can we control our body's responses when it comes to stress. And I want you to walk away with an awareness and an emphasis that, the need for these little pauses, whether they're brief and getting in tune with our body, our breath, is really a human function. It's not a religious activity, right? And meditation is also a human function. Breathing, a human function. You could tap into these things, whether you're just sipping and having tea or coffee, whether you're jogging, whether you're painting, whether you're writing. So I want you to take off all that dogma of your predisposition of judgments of what you actually think it is, because it really, really isn't. More The challenge is more within ourselves. It's really not that complicated, to be really honest with you. So I do want to quickly just thank our sponsors for this generous location. And the sponsors for this episode is El Segundo Nivel PR, which is Humacao's premier co-working and wellness shared space. We're right located in the downtown hub of Humacao, and it helps you like discover what it's like to take your life and health as a necessity for well-being, right? Work-life balance is not a luxury. We now know this. And we shouldn't be living a life that's dissatisfied and unhappy. So El Segundo Nivel was the love child of me and my husband. And we're now sponsoring these podcasts because we're helping to promote the mind shift and understanding the need for overall wellness is for the entire being. Ditch the isolation from working from home. We start moving again. So what we offer are wellness work days. It's a wellness workday atmosphere. We become a lot more comfortable. It's a perfect blend of comfort of home, but office efficiency. So you have, the free Wi-Fi, the unlimited coffee and tea and snacks, and the guided meditations and yoga classes and personal and business growth workshops. And all of the offerings are offered bilingually. We have day passes. So the day pass for an open desk is $30. It includes a free yoga class, which if you would have just dropped in for class was $15, right? And then we have an unlimited 30-day pass for $99, which is unlimited co-working and yoga. And that's really technically $4.95 a day, which is really pretty fantastic. It's about the size, a cup of coffee. So it's perfect for the solopreneur, the wellness professionals, small teams to come here and have like their own business offsites. I also am a certified purpose-driven life coach. I do energy balancing sessions. I'm a certified aromatherapist, a clinical aromatherapist. We do juicing. So we want you to feel like co-working, but with a further enhanced spa-like experience, which is perfect for retreats. So if you have a small team in Puerto Rico, or if you're coming as a group to the island and would like to add like a special half day or full day component to it, to really enhance your employees' well-being, definitely reach out to El Segundo Nivel, because I know that we can put together something that's really special and unique to just you and your team, and what will enhance and make your employees thrive, right? So our emphasis is like grab your laptops and your yoga mats and you come on down to 6 Calle Ulysses Martinez. We're located on the second floor. There's ample street parking, several municipal parking lots, and some paid parking lots, all within like a 2-3 block radius. We're open Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4, and summer Fridays, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we can always accept drop-ins. So if you're going to come in, drop in for the day, it's suggested that you come between like 8 and 10 in the morning so we know who's going to be here for the day. You could always find the latest happenings and the schedule for classes and everything that you're interested in our LinkedIn page or Instagram at El Segundo Nivel PR. And then you'll experience what it's like to really work in a space that fully supports your well-being, right? You'll come in, you'll get super productive, and you're going to leave so rejuvenated, so inspired, and so reconnected, which is fantastic. Okay, so let's get to this episode. As I said earlier, and as the title states, right, what is the difference between mindfulness and meditation? And I'm talking like to the non-yogi, because people are always asking me like, well, what's meditation? And when I get this, like, what is it? I hear it's really good for you. I just don't know what to do. I can't do it. Doctor told me to do it. I don't even know where to begin. I can't sit quiet. My head, I hear like every excuse, but really the bottom line is you have the faculties to control your breath, close your mouth and stop talking. And if you can sit or lay down or walk, you can meditate. Really, the choice is yours to actually do it, right? Don't even already come in with your prejudice. Just come in with an open mind and see and experience, right? So the key difference is that there's mindfulness and then there's meditation, and it lies in the scope of how it's applied. So mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment. It's being aware of your thoughts, being aware of the sensations that are going on in the body, is being aware of your emotions, the mood, your surroundings, right? All of these awarenesses are done without judgment, and it's just to really bring you, these practices can be applied everywhere. It's just bringing you into this moment, so you're not like escaping or just walking aimlessly, right? So you can do it eating, walking, um, anyway, standing in line at the coffee shop, right? It's a continuous state of awareness that you tap into throughout the day. Now, meditation is the structured practice that often involves setting aside some time so that you can focus on the mind. And this is where the mindfulness practices prepare you for meditation. Because a meditation practice is where you kind of work like your brain muscle and how you can control the thoughts that are coming in and help move them along. And you often do this with either the use of the breath and focusing on the breath. You'll do it with mantra, guided visualizations. It'll help you cultivate an awareness and calmness. So that's the difference, right? Meditation will happen in sessions rather than throughout the entire day, which would be more of a mindfulness practice. So in essence, mindfulness is like the quality of your awareness that you can bring into basically in every moment and every activity that you're doing. And mindfulness is like the formal method to cultivate that quality so that when you stop and pause and be with your children or your spouse, you're there. You're not there and also typing a text message. You know what I mean? So there's some fun, quick techniques that I'm going to give you. So the first one is 3-3-3 grounding technique. With your eyes open and your lids kind of soft, as you're breathing calmly, notice 3 things you can see. Think walls, windows, floor, ceiling, location, colors. Just notice 3 things. And then as you're sitting there breathing quietly, notice 3 things you can hear. What's really far out in the distance, outside the room, and then start bringing your awareness a little bit closer. What's outside the door, what's right next to you, what's in the room, and then bring it back into your body. Can I even hear my breath? That kind of stuff, right? And then move to the parts of the body. Can you roll your shoulders? Can you wiggle your fingers? Can you wiggle your toes? Can you stretch, sit up a little bit? Can you adjust? That's bringing you into how does the body feel right now. And this simple technique is really fantastic because it actually interrupts stress by engaging your senses. And it's a wonderful way to ground, especially when you're in a moment of really high anxiety, like are about to experience like a panic attack. Like everybody's talking about these somatic therapies, which is like a buzzword lately, but it's a wonderful technique that does fall into that bucket without using the word, right? The key is keep the eyes open, because in keeping the eyes open and focusing in this present moment, what it's doing is it's stopping you from flashing back to a painful thought or memory or this fear of the unknown of what's going to happen next, right? And it allows us to face the fears. Like for me, it also reminds me, I like to do the date, location, and I'll even say to myself, like, I am here. This is where I'm at. I am not my thoughts. I am at peace. I am safe. I am in control. I am calm. And I will like sometimes just repeat that so that I can stop the spiraling, right? Then there's 5-5-5 breath work. That's inhale with your nose for 5 seconds, hold the breath for 5 seconds, exhale for 5 seconds. And then you'll repeat that like 2-3 times. It's almost like a box breath, but if you notice, I didn't focus more on like how you stay empty. It's just 5, 5, 5, and you can even count it, and that helps too. Then there's also mindful drinking or eating, right? If you're sipping tea or coffee, sip the water. If you're eating, bite slowly. Pay attention to the taste, to the textures. What is the vessel, the temperature? Notice how it feels in the mouth and the throat. Can you taste different spices? All of that brings you back to this moment and this experience. You'll actually enhance your eating, right? And then there's the body scans. Close your eyes. Mentally scan your body. Notice where you're holding tension from the toes all the way to the crown of the head. Can you take a deep breath? And as you exhale, can you exhale and soften that spot, whatever is like feeling a little cranky? And I like to do this at the desk. Sometimes I'll even do this before a meeting. Like it's a nice like 1 minute quick tune up. How am I feeling all the way around, all the way up? Exhale it. Can I bring it all the way down? Sometimes, believe it or not, when I used to work in the office, I used to do this in my bathroom breaks. So as I was done, using the facilities, I would just still sit there and I would just do a quick scan. And it actually reminded me, like, when I came out of the stall and I go to wash my hands, I'm literally washing not only my hands hygienically, but I'm also like in my head, I'm like, I'm washing away all those crazy thoughts. I'm washing these sensations out, starting fresh. Yes, do. And then I would go and tackle the meeting, right? There's mindful walking. So while walking, when you pay attention to your feet on the ground, you can feel the weight shift from toe to heel. Notice the sounds, notice the smells, notice the sensations. And when you're walking, it kind of gets the mental juices flowing. So you'll notice that there's a lot of people now taking like either 2-minute walks between meetings to just as an opportunity to reset, or even walking meetings. Like, hey, meet me, let's go take a walk around the block. And, it really gets it going. Then there's a traditional box breath that I mentioned earlier. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds exhale, hold for 4 seconds. In, do, 4, 4, 4, 4. That one's a calming of the nerves. Again, perfect for before presentations and meetings. Then there's the 1-minute gratitude pause. Think of 3 things that you're grateful for, and just silently visualize them, name them. I like to do that at the end of the day, before I go home, or just just in the evening at some point. It helps you focus on what really is important to you, and it builds resilience, and it just shifts your moods, right? So I love those quick mindfulness exercises because they're really discreet, they're quick, they're easy to integrate into a busy day, and it helps you stay calm, focused, and centered, and again, builds resiliency. So when stress is coming in, you can like kind of pause and kind of regroup, right? So information and statistics on stress and meditation. According to the American Psychological Association, do you know that 77% of people experience stress that affects their physical health? Forget about the mental, it's like the physical, right? So meditation has been shown to reduce your stress so significantly. And there was a study at the Johns Hopkins University that found that 8% improvement in anxiety symptoms and 10% improvement in stress-related symptoms through meditation practices. So really give it a try, 5 minutes at a time. It doesn't have to be so crazy, and then you could always build up. So the other health benefits, well, regular meditation can reduce your blood pressure. It decreases anxiety. It improves your sleep. It enhances your emotional health, right? And the National Center of Complementary and Integrative Health reports reported that meditation can reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. And it can even, it's shown to just be one of the real key components to improving your quality of life. And accessibility, right? Like I said earlier, meditation and other mindfulness exercises and practices, they don't require any special equipment. You don't need a special outfit or shoes or mat or whatever, right? They can be done in any particular setting, and they can be practiced anywhere. I used to do them on the commute in the subway. I do them on the plane. I do it everywhere, right? And according to the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, in 2018, they found that 14.2% of Americans had meditated starting that year. And it's indicating that it continues to grow in popularity and accessibility because they realize there is no dogma, there is no religion. This is a you thing. This is a human experience thing, right? So practical tips: start small. Begin 3 to 5 minutes. That's it. Just sit in a quiet space, set a timer, 3 to 5 minutes. I love that there's so many more apps out there, or the smartwatches have timers, and you can just set the timer, sit down, and when it buzzes, you're done for the day, and that's it. If you really need some guidance, I have some recordings in this YouTube channel. You can find me on Insight Timer. There's plenty of them that some will resonate with you, right? If you're just starting, don't just sit there and just try to close the eyes. Find a guided meditation. I'm a firm believer that sitting closing your eyes, whatever, is going to defeat the whole purpose, because your mind's just going to go crazy. And you just haven't really been reined in till you build that mind muscle. And the mind can hold on to the words if you get like a mantra or an affirmation, and then the body will follow. And in time, like I said, the times that you increase to different modalities or whatever you can get focused with. But right now, just pay attention to the breath. Pay attention as it just goes in and out. Notice the rhythm, notice the quality. Is it smooth? Is it choppy? Is it shorter? Then the exhale, are you forcing the exhale? Can you just smooth out that pattern? Just that alone will help calm the body. And I love to instruct that you focus on the tip of the nose, because you can notice the inhale breath You can notice the exhale breath, and it's almost like a figure eight, and you can kind of play with that swirl. You'll feel the coolness in, you'll feel the heat and warmth on the exhale. So at the end of this podcast, I'm going to give you a quick little try on that one. And then if your mind wanders, go back to that little figure eight, connecting the outer body and the inner body, and it'll like rein it in again, right? So everyday activities where you could also find moments of meditation would be like water meditation. I love water meditation. Probably 90% of you are doing this and didn't even realize. Whenever you're in the shower or the bath, remember, we're so close to water, 70-80%, whatever the study is, right? We regularly shower. And whether you're in the shower or you walk by the ocean or a river, remember, when we find bodies of water, it's tremendously healing for us, because you can immediately feel that connection, and the water assists like really with floating. You ride the wave of the breath. It feels like rain. Sometimes you say you're going through your to-do list. Really, that's a body scan, mental scan, and then you start to realize that you relax. You can smell the qualities. You can feel the different temperatures. They're beautiful. Well, do it in the shower, and then you've done it, right? And you're alone, and nobody's bothering you. Then there's walking meditations. Like I said earlier, notice how fast your pace is and slow it down to the slowest, even more uncomfortable pace. Walk barefoot, walk in grass, walk on sand. Take your shoes off. Notice with each step, if you do an inhale, then an exhale, right? Sounds, smells, sensations. Notice the mechanics of your feet. Notice how your knee lifts up the leg. Listen as you move with the breath, and then as you move the foot in front of you and it sticks on the ground, heel to toe. Notice the crunchies. Notice the colors around you. Notice how you've moved. And every time you notice you're starting to move faster, you start pulling yourself and start going slower, slower, slower. And then eventually you'll find that space. Cooking and mindful eating, those are also meditations. Notice the textures, notice the smells, notice how fast can you slow it down as you prepare the food. Savor the aromas and tastes. Know what's cool and warm. What are the colors of the food? Can you find the rainbow? How has it been served? Get out of these paper plates. Pull out your fine china. Treat yourself as the best gift. Fully chew your food. Take out the good silverware. Slow, mindful bites. Make it an experience. You deserve it, right? Tea meditation. I love tea meditations because you can savor the aroma, taste, and the warmth of it. You can take it slow. Notice the cup. Notice the liquid. Notice the colors. Give thanks to that little leaf that took so far to get to your cup, right? Jogging meditation. That's like the average. Everyone loves that rhythm, that pace, and clearing the mind, right? Or fast walking. Then there's painting. Engage in the full creative process. Notice the colors, the brush strokes, your emotional responses to what it is that you're making or creating. And then there's non-judgment awareness. Simply observe your thoughts or feelings or emotions without judgment. Acknowledge, and then just let them pass like clouds. So if you have to imagine little clouds and like throw up whatever's up there and let it move along the sky, do that if that helps too. Some fun facts, like historical roots meditation, they dates back thousands of years. And it's been practiced in so many various forms in so many different cultures. You would be surprised if there's a religious affiliation that you're very dedicated to. There are forms of meditation through prayer that you can actually do. There's changes to the brain as an organ, right? The thickness of the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for our decision making and our attention. There are shifts that take place in the mind. The global practice, for the monks in Tibet to the executives in Silicon Valley, meditation is a universal practice and is being practiced everywhere. So here are your call to action questions. Get ready, go grab your journals. This is going to take a few minutes, but these are mindfulness inquiries that are part of this episode that you can do right now. Hit pause and then go to the next question, or you can do it later. But what are your top 3 sources of stress, and how do you currently manage them? And have you tried any mindfulness practices or meditation practices, particularly some of the ones that I may have pointed out, maybe new ones, or they may be common, right? If you've been trying, dabbling around. But now do you realize, like, whoa, I didn't realize when I was doing that, that was a form of meditation. That's why I love it so much, right? Self-inquiry and reflection. What are the common thoughts that arise during these times, moments of pause? And then, like, how does your body typically respond to stress? Like, what are your physical sensations that you notice? Do you notice that you immediately start getting clammy in your breath, or whatever the case is? I don't want to give you the symptoms. I want you to notice, how does your body respond? And then there's a mindfulness check-in. Like, take a moment and focus on your breath right now. And does the simple act change the state of your mind? You'll notice, if you tried one of the ones I gave you earlier, box breath or 5 count, whatever, it's going to do it, right? And can you identify a daily activity where you can incorporate like a mindful pause? Like, every day I do blah, 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 or when I wait in the line for this, that, right? So community building, share your meditation experience with your friends, share it with me on social media, share like how you've noticed the benefits and where you were able to plug it in. Remember, 3 to 5 minutes, plug it in, put it in different spots, and show me your creative ways. I would love to hear about it. And I think the rest of us would love to hear about it too, because we're all out here in our average day. And, meditation can be challenging for many, but there are meditation challenges that I can help support you with. But there's also a lot of successes, right? And so definitely answer the question of, like, how has this podcast and the meditation challenge impacted your daily life? I would love to hear it. You could also suggest any future topics for episodes, or ask for any more questions on meditation and mindfulness. I would love to answer them right here in the comments. And if you're going to follow me, definitely follow me at EricaGarciaYogaVida on all social media platforms. If you want to get fun with it, it could be I meditate for my sanity. Is that great hashtag? Or just one more breath, man. Just one more breath. Holding on. And remember, meditation is a journey. Be willing to notice and pause. It's the most powerful first step. That's all you need to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Notice, and then you keep it on. If you want to stay connected with me, with other like-minded individuals, I have a beautiful, private, holistic online sanctuary for all of you. You can join it for free. It's called the Nueva ALMA Social. You can find the links in my link tree. If you comment here, I'll send it to you. And then we also have the Sacred Pause Collective, which is another one where I do a lot of my virtual classes and my virtual group health coaching, purpose-driven stuff, all that kind of stuff. And there are some meditations that you could join there too. So definitely subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope this topic really does help you. And like that, you got the little nuances, right? Because they do make a difference. As I said earlier, if this one was really of help, please, share it with your fellow comadres or patronas or your sister friends, because we all can use the help. And definitely leave a review, give me a thumbs up, and I hope to see you soon. I really do. I hope this was really helpful for you. I have some retreats coming up, and the next episode is going to be a good one. The next one, we're going to be navigating menopause with grace, and that's going to be a good one. So I see you soon. And if you're in ever Puerto Rico, come see me.